All right, this should be fun. I do actually have some teams that I root for and cheer for. I don't really hate any teams. I will say I don't hate teams. There are some that frustrate me the most. So I'm gonna put greatly dislike. And so this is a little bit of his turn, but to me, I don't hate any teams. There's some fan base that are a little more annoying, which to me will be a little more surprising, hopefully. Let's go over it. This should be pretty quick, so let's just jump right into it. LA Kings. I don't know why. I don't really care for them. To me, I maybe it comes from like being a Red Wings fan in the West. To me, they're just I guess they're okay. They're there. No, to me, it just doesn't. I don't like them. I'm good. I'm good. Nashville, fine. Again, they should retool, but I'm fine. They're there. They're a team for sure. So, Oilers, dislike for sure. I don't like I like Connor McDavid. I don't like how it's ran. It's more that I don't like Ken Holland right now, and they've already won so much that I want other teams to win, so I don't really like them. Coyotes, I do like them. I think they're fun. I think they're exciting. I hate some. This is where I like the on ice product. I think they're doing the rebuild. I think they did the rebuild properly. I hate that they did the team. The what's happening with the league, their arena and everything. But to me, I think they're a very likable team, and their fan base seems to be really likable as well. So Penguins, I greatly dislike the Penguins. I like Crosby. I like Dubas. I don't like the Penguins. And the reason I don't like the Penguins is because I was a Red Wings fan, and they versed them in 2008. Red Wings won in the Stanley Cup Finals. Versed them in 2009 in the Stanley Cup Finals and lost. So I do not like the Penguins. So I'm totally okay with that. Greatly dislike Boston. Do not like Boston. I almost would put hate Boston. They're so frustrating. They're so good all the time, and they did such a great job with their cap structure, with all their guys. Now it's kind of Pasternak kind of got paid, so I'm wondering how that's going to go. But to me, do not like Boston. Columbus. I actually do like Columbus. I think it's more like Columbus is like the little brother to Michigan, because Ohio, I don't like Ohio, but I like what Columbus. I like Elvis Merzlikins, so maybe I'm biased there. But to me, they're like, hey, like I'm like the small market team. Let's kind of help them out. To me, it's a small market team that could use a little help, a little bit of love, and so to me, like, hey, like I would like them to do better, please. So Chicago. I hate them. I didn't like Chicago before I found out about the sexual assault scandals. But it was, it's just Red Wings and Chicago in the early, in the 2000s and the 2010s, like, when Chicago went on that crazy heaters, like, yeah, and when the Red Wings were in the West. So to me, like, don't like Chicago at all. Washington, they're fine. They're there. I like Ovi's cool, like, but to me, they're fine. They're a team. Canadians, I dislike. I don't. And it's more that Canadians fans lose their crap on me whenever I talk about them in any sort of negative light. Talk about the Ryan Barker pick, huh, guys? But to me, the Canadians, I don't like them. I like what they're doing. I think they're doing similar to the Coyotes. They're doing a rebuild smart, but I don't like them. They're a little stuck up, in my opinion. But that's just me. That's what I've gotten out of it, right? That's my opinion. So, Senators, there's some fans that I like. I got one guy that comments on here. We have good Senators talks. But to me, I don't like them. As Red Wings fans, I greatly dislike them. I practically hate the Senators. And I understand if I had Brady Tkachuk on my team, I would love it too. But they're just shit stirrers, and I'm all about that if it was my team, right? It's the same way if I had Brad Marchand on my team, like I'd be geeked. Like I'd be like, yeah, of course he's a rat. Like he gets under the skin. He's just a good player. Like I just don't like it because he's not on my team. But similar to the Senators, they're gritty and to me they're just they're so annoying. And Matthew Joseph and the Dylan Larkin thing is just it's hard to get past that. So to me, I just don't like the Senators. So Lightning, they're okay. Similar. I'm kind of feeling like they've won a ton, but I think they're a really smart team. I think they've got they got a lot of good guys. I think they're kind of staying here a little longer than they should. But to me, I think overall they're a pretty decent team. Like I'm pretty happy with them. So to me, they're good. I like them. So to me, with the Lightning, I'm good. Avalanche, similar. They're cool. They're okay. They're fine. They won a cup, which is cool. Now because I'm older. I'm past the Lemieux. Like the Lemieux McCarty incident, or Draper incident. If you haven't seen the ESPN E60, that was great. Check it out. But I'm over the rivalry. For me, I'm okay. But I understand the generation. I am in that generation where people are still a little sensitive to it. So, as Red Wings fans. So, Golden Knights. I like them. They are a little arrogant. They're actually one of my wife's favorite teams. They're like her second favorite team. I like them. I kind of like their all-in attitude all the time. I think they're kind of jerks to some of their players, and just like how happened with Marc-Andre Fleury. But like I really like what their go all in, like willing to move out the draft picks to go all in, and it worked out for them, right? I mean, they got a cup in 6 years. I mean, how long have some of these teams been around? Have never been to a cup final. I mean, look at San Jose hasn't got a cup. Florida doesn't have a cup. Like Winnipeg doesn't have a cup. Like Minnesota, come on. Like Minnesota should absolutely have a cup. With all the players that come out of Minnesota, like that's to me. So Flyers. Flyers are actually one of my favorites. I'm gonna kind of limit it, but to me, I do really like the Flyers. They're probably my fourth or fifth favorite team. Big fan of them. I got a buddy that I grew up with, or I have a friend's brother who was in their farm system in the AHL, Ronnie Addard, and so to me, I like him, and I kind of like to me, Philadelphia's gritty, like Detroit, like that kind of like blue collar worker feeling. So that's one of the reasons I like about them. I like them. So Buffalo, I actually like. I'm trying to figure out how many to do in my favorites. So to me, I do like Buffalo a lot. They're lower on the tier. They're like a 6 favorite team, right? So I want to put them as unlikable, but they're high likable. So I'm moving you past the Coyotes, right? So like to me, there's like I like Buffalo. I like I like the rebuild. I like what they've done. I'm a big fan of Rasmus Dahlin. So that's where I'm kind of like I'm a little biased there, but I really like what Buffalo's done. They're going to be tough opponents. Ask me again in a year, 2 or 3, when Red Wings are fighting for them in the playoffs. But to me, like they're going to be a tough competition. But I'm excited for it. So Dallas is actually my third favorite team of all my teams, and I'm a big fan of Pavelski, Sagan. I liked Ben until the Larkin thing, and I unfortunately kind of like him. But he's kind of the Dallas Stars version of Brad Marchand, but like to me, I've always been a big fan of Sagan. I thought it was great when they picked him up from Boston. But I'm always a huge Sagan fan. Again, and a huge Pavelski fan. Hint for my second favorite team. But yeah, I really like Dallas Stars. Winnipeg Jets. They're fine. They're there. They're a team. They need to get their stuff figured out when it comes to how they moved from Atlanta, or they moved from Winnipeg to Arizona, and they got Atlanta to Phoenix. Like to me, it doesn't have much of an identity. So to me, they're there. So Rangers fans, dislike. Again, it's one of those original 6 teams that to me they get so much hype, but they're not really worth what they did. Right? Like they had 1 cup in the 90s. And I think it was 90. I don't remember. It was 90s or early 2000s, 90s. And the last cup prior to that was like in the 20s, like the 1920s. Like to me, like they're like an overhyped team. Madison Square Garden is like, oh cool. They've done a bunch of rebuilds or stuff to it, but to me, it's just like they're overhyped. To me, that's my opinion. So St. Louis, I do like St. Louis. I like Bill Armstrong. I think some of the moves they're making is good. I like their vibes. I like they gave Verana a chance. Didn't work out. Unfortunately, he's in the AHL, but overall, I like them. Florida Panthers, don't like. I don't know if you've heard this guy. His name's Matthew Tkachuk. And there's also this guy named Sam Reinhart. They have this guy named Radko Gudas. Like, they're just rough and tumble and jerks. And there's a time and place for that type of hockey. And I hate when my Red Wings, as a Red Wings fan, they reversed them. Like, they're so frustrating. They're very good, but they're very frustrating. And they're going to be a problem for the next 5-10 years when the Red Wings are competing. So, Ducks. They actually used to be my favorite teams. They're okay. To me, they're okay now. I would say likable, but to me, they're just there. They're going through the rebuild. I liked Perry when he was younger. A huge fan of Timo Solani. By the way, I know he played with Winnipeg Jets. But I was a huge fan of Timo Solani. So to me, they're okay. They're there. So, Vancouver Canucks, similar. They're okay. They're a team. I'm happy for what they're doing this year, but to me, they're just there. I don't really focus on them, and they're so far away too. So it's just like a lot of Western teams I don't pay attention to. They're just not on my radar for the most part. So, Toronto, I don't want. If you're a Toronto, you hate Toronto, you're gonna hate this. I actually do like Toronto, but I'm a big fan of the Steve Dangle podcast. So if you don't listen to them, check them out for sure. But to me, I'm a big fan of the Steve Dangle podcast, and they've really to me, they put out the best quality hockey content. Besides myself, because I'm biased, but they do better. They do better than me as well. So but I'm a big fan. I've grown. The Toronto Maple Leafs have grown on me. They're like probably my fourth or fifth team. They swap in with Philadelphia, but to me, right now it's probably Toronto is probably my fourth, and Philadelphia's my fifth, just because Toronto's doing better right now. So to me, if I had to rank them, Stars are going to be ahead of the Flyers. Let's do this. And we'll rank them like this. Here you go. So, Dallas Stars is currently my favorite right now. New Jersey Devils, they're fine. They're okay. They're similar to the. I have like a little bit of. I kind of like them, but I like Jack Hughes. Let me phrase. I don't really like. Actually, you know what? I don't know if I like them. Because I like Timo Meier and I like Jack Hughes. I kind of don't like them. Yeah, I don't really. To me, looking at their history and everything, to me, Brodeur was very good. He was not the best. To me, Hasek is always the best goalie. I think Brodeur had a great system behind him. They won some Stanley Cups. Great for them. To me, I think 1 or 2. I think. To me, that Shanahan came from them. Brendan Shanahan, So I really like Jack Hughes. I like Luke Hughes. I like the Hughes brothers, but to me, don't really care for the New Jersey Devils. And they're okay. They're not even just there. They're just like kind of a little bit of arrogance. They have the same arrogance that New York Rangers have, but less accolades. Similar accolades actually. But I think New Jersey Devils got a little more on the uprise. So Carolina Hurricanes, they're a team. They're for sure a team. They're kind of there. To me, they kind of have that Columbus feeling where they're kind of underdogs in a smaller market. But they're just kind of always been there. They've been in that playoff area. They're again similar. I have a similar feeling to the Carolina Hurricanes. I have the Washington Capitals. Like, you guys pop up every once in a while and do some good things. So they're fine. Sharks' second favorite team is the Sharks. And I can't get you in there. We'll move this. There you go. Sharks' favorite team. Their second favorite team. George Thornton and Patrick Marleau. I mean, come on, Jonathan Tichu, Joe Pavelski. Like, there's so many. Like, you had so many. You had so many great goalies. Like, you had it is a great amount of players. I remember when they were going versus the Vegas Golden Knights. In the conference finals. I remember it was them versus Pittsburgh in the Stanley Cup finals. Like, it was a huge, everyone's going pro San Jose. Oh yeah. I was so excited. They are tanking right now. I'm glad they got Will Smith. I think they're going to hopefully they can get a couple more good pieces. I'm a big fan of William Eklund. So hopefully they can pick up a good defender this draft. Maybe the pickup, Macklin Celebrini. We'll see. So, Islanders, they're there. I guess I mean, when you have so many teams, I'm a hockey fan, right? But I can only following all the teams gets difficult. Islanders, they kind of just fall into place with like, yeah, they're there, and they're just there to me. They're a team. So, Minnesota Wild, I don't really like. I like the idea of the Minnesota. I have one of my favorite hats is the Minnesota Wild that I have. It's a great hat. To me, I dislike them because they're disappointing. You know what I mean? Like, I want them to be better. Like, I like them enough, but you disappoint me so often that I can't, and there's no hope. To me, there's really no hope right now for them. They don't really they have like Kaprizov, great. Like, they have like Brock Faber, but like, to me, there's just not a lot of hope there. So to me, it's like, I want to like you. It's like the girl that you want to like you crush for, and you're like, oh my god, she's so pretty, she's so hot, and then she's kind of a jerk, and like, she just keeps letting you down, and like, she's kind of mean to you, and I'm like, I just don't, I can't like you. Like, I long term, you'll hurt my feelings, so I dislike you. Going over, I'm gonna skip the Red Wings. I think you have a guess on where it's gonna be. Calgary Flames. They're there. They're a team. So to me, there's a lot of heat around them right now. They're in there a lot, in the news a lot, because of all their assets trying to move. Hanifin, they've already moved Lindholm. They're talking about Tanev. Markstrom can move. If you haven't checked out, I made a Markstrom trade mock video with the New Jersey Devils. If you want, check that out as well. And they're just there. So, and the Red Wings, top favorite team. They're absolutely my favorite. Big fan. I live in Detroit, or outside of Detroit, and so I watch a ton of their games. One of their games will actually be on about 25 minutes, so I'll probably end up jumping on that. But here's my list, man. So to me, these are kind of some of my favorites. Actually, these are a pretty good lists. This is unfortunately missing Seattle in this list. I would put Seattle on my likables because it's one of my wife's favorites as well, and it's also one of my favorite hats that I have. So, anyways, let me know what your thoughts are on this, who some of your favorite teams are, and hit like, subscribe, and catch up with you soon. Love you guys.